Good evening, good evening, good evening. What's going on, people? One of the things that was in my email box was when is the best time to start a business? And I had to think about that. You know, the best time to start a business is now. That's the best time to start a business. There are many people who are waiting for the right time or the perfect moment to start a business. And I don't know about that. I don't really know about that because the thing is, you could be missing an opportunity by waiting for the perfect time, whatever that may or may not be. So the perfect time to start a business is now. Now, let's get to the real, excuse me, let's get to the real meat of the question. What is the best time to get to make, to make money? Because see, this is one of the things. What I'm understanding from the question is what's the best time to leave and start making money as quick as possible? Hold on a second. And there is no such time because, all right, when you go out there and you're putting your thing out there, right? When you're doing your thing, you are making money, you're building that business. It's a process. That is one of the biggest things that you have to do is get your process going. So understand this is crazy. Sometimes, there we go. Sometimes I want to just beat Facebook, but the best time, like I said, is to get started now. Let me just clear up my thoughts as I get rid of some stuff here. All right. Number one, as you're building your business, you have to think of how you're going to grow your business. All right, let's just jump into it. Let's give you a scenario because when people like those better. Let's say your name is Alan Average and you're married to Amy Average. You have an average job. Amy has an average job. You both want to start a business. What is the best time to start that business? Now, the problem is when I say business, you are thinking of the mature business. You're thinking of the business that is paying the bills, making you the man or the woman, and you're running stuff. That's the mature business. You can start the business right now, tonight. Take you a sheet of paper, take you a pen. Like here's my task list, which is, there's a lot more on it, but there's a bunch on it. There's a lot of stuff I knocked out, some stuff I haven't crossed out. So you get you a sheet of paper, you get you a pen, get the tip out, and you begin planning. Then, after you begin planning and drawing that rough framework of what you need to do, then you start to execute. Now, that's the business. Now, the mature business, the one that's sending off cash, that's a lot different than, once again, Alan Average and Amy Average. You have baby Average, right? His name is Avril or whatever, or Alvin Average. Yeah, that works too. So, fast forward 20 years from now, it's like 6'8", and that's your business. It's just like a kid. You don't expect a 2-year-old to drive a car, but many people expect their 2-year-old business to support them. That's the reality. It's just because, the conversation is when the best time to start a business. That's not the real conversation. The best time to begin to groom a business is the conversation, because you can listen to this tonight, go out there and get your first customer tomorrow, and your business is started. You've got to grow the business. You have to market the business. You have to build the business. But that's the real conversation, because the best time is now, right now, tonight. Wake up in the morning, go out there and get it. Now, do you need business cards? Because this is something else too. I was at a convention back in the day, as they call them. And this guy was like, you're nobody if you don't have a business card. That was the old economy. Doesn't work so much like that now. I mean, certain industries, you still have to have a business card. That's just reality. But the deal is you can do quite a bit without a business card. It's about personality. It's about hustle. It's about building something. So, okay, Alan and Amy, let's see. Let's see. You're going to start a physical products business. So, what's your first step? Who's your market? That's your first step. Many people think the first step is the product. First step is the marketplace. What marketplace? Because there's several marketplaces. There's the teenage marketplace, there's the female marketplace, there's the male marketplace, there's the online marketplace, there's the offline marketplace, there's the international marketplace. So what's your marketplace? Where are you going to be? What are you going to do? That's your first thing. First thing. That's why take your pen, take your pencil, and start planning and doing research. Because if you spent a week just researching your marketplace, you would be ahead of the game, because this is what happens. And there are people who literally spend hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars. I am not kidding, on an ideal or a concept. And they're just like, it's going to win. This is going to kill. We're going to make a lot of money, with no marketplace research at all. They start doing the marketplace research after the product is developed, which at that point, it could be a little late. Could be way late, because essentially when, like I do a lot of testing, and it drives people crazy because I don't know what the hell y'all want sometimes. And, I'll ask and you're like, well, I want this. And then go ahead and create the product. And you're like, I don't really want that. And then I'll just go ahead and pull some that I'm thinking, okay, when I was in that position, what would serve me well? What is something that would give me the things I need? And that's one of the things about process. That's one of the reasons with Hustlers Kung Fu, they have all of these things under there, because essentially when you're putting together your business, so many things happen. That's why in Hustlers Kung Fu, I got the credit course, the child support course, the motivation course, the transition of becoming a boss. All those courses there for a reason, because when I was starting out looking for answers, I didn't really find what I was looking for, so I created it. And that's another thing that you can do, Alan and Amy. You can create a solution to a problem that you have. There's many businesses have been started that way, because more than likely, if it's a problem for you, it's a problem for someone else. The question is that problem scalable? I mean, what's a big problem that everyone has every day? You need to eat. So there's restaurants all over the place. I mean, I can get in my car right now, and before I reach the 10-minute mark, I'm probably would pass in the geographical at least 100 restaurants, when you count the Waffle Houses, the Burger Kings, Chops, Bones, Red Lobsters, Maggiano's, just literally 100 restaurants before I go 10 minutes. So it doesn't have to be, quote, the special sauce or the secret sauce or this hidden market. It could be something that's like right in front of your eyes. It's just a matter of, can you execute better than the people who are already in the marketplace? So that's a question that you have to ask yourself. So let's go back to the physical products. You've already found the marketplace. You found a group of people that you feel will appreciate your product. All right. So how do you communicate with them? And remember, this fool who went into Reddit and he started promoting this product and they ate him alive. This is what I see. This is what I feel. We're getting to the place where you will have to do content marketing, because people are becoming oblivious to advertising. They're becoming oblivious or just downright avoiding it, because I read a stat, and I don't know if it's true, but like 50-60% of the people on YouTube have an ad block. And it's just like, wow, you've got all that stuff going on. But essentially, you have to figure out who they are, how to get in front of them, Then once you do all that, then you got to figure out the price points. What price point is going to work for that marketplace? So that's how you start a business, and that's how you grow a business. It's not rocket science. It's all about the execution. And there is maybe 5-8% of the stuff that's like super esoteric and hidden, but the other 92% is about execution and hustle. How are you going to reach that market? How are you going to talk to that market? How are you going to get them to trust you? All of that stuff is very relevant to you building your business and creating a situation where you can start that business. Because like I said, the best time is right now. That is it. It will not get any better than that, because once you go ahead and figure out how well you're going to execute, because really it's not even a starting question. Well, it's an execution question as well. It's definitely an execution question, because once you get your execution down, once you begin to really put that's kind of crazy, when you begin to put yourself out there in the marketplace, then you will begin to gain information. You'll begin to get that feedback. You begin to learn what works with your marketplace, because there are certain people who have businesses you've never heard of who literally make millions of dollars a year because they serve their marketplace as well. You don't have to be a household name to become rich in this country. You can literally serve everyone in your metropolitan area very well and become rich. It happens. I mean, you've got examples all around you. You've got a guy who has like 20 restaurants in town, millionaire. You got a guy who started a fabrication company, employs 20, 30 people, millionaire. You got a guy who has like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 car dealerships, millionaire. So there's a lot of ways that you can create money once you figure out how well you're going to execute, how well you're going to do these things. Now, for those of you who are still here, I've made some changes in what I do, because I'll go ahead and just drop that briefly, because for those you didn't know, there is all these windows open. So let's just go here. This is the new thing, as if my internet wants to like creep along. Crazy. Well, it could be that I have all these boxes open. So let's see. Let's just get rid of that and get rid of that. Okay. This is the new blog. I've really been talking about it. I finally did it. But it's blog at hustlerskungfu.com. There's already, and see, this is the thing. I did all of this this weekend because I didn't just want to like do one post. I didn't want to do the regular blog thing. There's a lot of stuff that's already here. There's more stuff that's coming, and it's going to be very, very wild. There's one post I'm working on that's called the motherfucker principle. That's the kind of blog this is going to be, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. Okay, so here's a breakdown, some other stuff. You can learn a little bit about me if you've never really heard the story, because there's so many videos. This is something else new that I'm doing, local meetups. Bam, here we go. Now, this is on locally. Once I start traveling, I'll open this up, but this is just for folks in the metro Atlanta area. And this is a different kind of meetup. You show up, you get training. It will not be where we're going to network. No. The first class is starting an online business. The first thing you need to do. I'm going to go into deep detail. Now, if you are a member of Hustlers Kung Fu, if the venue is free, you get in free. If the venue has a charge, you might have a nominal charge of $10 or $30 or something like that, just to cover those costs. Everyone else off the street is $200 a month. There's going to need to be 1 or 2 training classes per month, and you get me in the flesh, so to speak. So that's another thing that's going on. Also, going back to the courses, I made some big changes this weekend. Yeah, I've been working, man. Been working, working for the man. Let's see. We have, come out there. We got that. We don't need that open. And here we go. Just check. All right. Now there's the courses. I made a big difference. Well, not a big difference, big change. You can buy one course at a time. There's a link there. The 20 Hustlers Kung Fu 20 course deal. You'll see it in the annotation. The Hustlers Kung Fu everything deal and the complete dojo. And then the payment plan is only for the complete dojo. Check that out at your leisure, because essentially I've just made some really big changes on what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and how I'm going to present this stuff to you. Because essentially, we need to rock and roll. It is November, and before you know it, it will be November 2016. I know you're going like, no, it will be here before you know it. So I'm challenging you to go ahead and make this a year to remember. From this November to next November, actually do something different. Start to execute. Don't just think about what you're going to do. Actually put pen to paper, create a plan, and start executing. Because there was this article that someone sent me that, people who are like 50 can't find jobs. It was something about 40% of the unemployed were 50 and above. And I was just like, holy moly, I did not know. So if that doesn't scare you, let me give you some other stuff. As we go on, more people will be displaced by technology. That's just not me, just speaking. That's fact. You see it every day. Look at what happened to cab drivers and look at what happened with Uber. Uber is an app that puts people and drivers together. So you got all that stuff that's going down. Understand, you need to hustle. I think every family needs a family business. Every family definitely needs a family business. If you are serious about your future, you need to start hustling and building now. And I'll give you just a regular thing. Like say, you're Alan Average with Amy Average. Y'all go out there and you create this business. In the first year, it only makes $2,000. Awesome. And then you're going like, $2,000 ain't nothing, man. Actually, you're wrong. $2,000 from a business you create from something your own efforts is quite a lot. Because see, once you create that first level of income, you can scale it up and you can build and you can create. So the next year you take it up to 6,000. I know you're going like, we ain't really impressed with that, but screw you, fuck you, because understand it was 2,000 the first year, then 6,000 the second year. And understand, Al and Amy still have their jobs. See, this is the thing that, people want to make that leap from job to business owner, just completely missing that whole process of grooming and building. So, here it is, year 3. Now you're up to like 15 grand. Still got your jobs, but the business is supporting yourself. And since you got your jobs, you're able to invest all of the business money back in the business to grow it faster. Then year 4, bam, you done made 100 grand. Now, if you want to, you can you could quit your job and go into it. But this is my advice, and this is something I heard. The best time to quit your job for your business is when your job is costing you money. When being at your job is costing you money that you could be making into your business, at that point, you should go. Not a minute before, because when you're just like, man, if I was there at home working on the business, I would have made like 20 G's today, and you only make 40,000. It's time to go. It's like, hey, Ed, I quit. I'm out this bitch. Peace. It's that time. Well, actually, you can go ahead and put in your 2 weeks notice and be respectable and everything like that. But I'm just saying, because so many people want to just quit their job, but you haven't built the skills to support yourself without a job. And that's just something that's really, really pivotal to the whole thing working. So that's just a little overview of what you need to do so you can go ahead and begin to build that business, begin to start those things, begin to build those processes, because once again, you ain't getting any younger. Technology's kicking jobs to the wayside, and you're not going to become wealthy or rich working for someone else. That's reality. Just saying. Just saying. So for those of you who want some insanely helpful stuff, click show more under the video, and be sure to subscribe to the appropriate list. We have live events, and the blog has its own email list that you'll only get blog posts from. There's live events, and then there's some other stuff, because roughly around, yes, not even around, November 15th, I'm going to launch Intellectual Property Dojo. So the list is below if you want that information, and I'll talk about it a little bit more as we get closer to that date. So that's what I have for you. Start executing. Like I said, I'm challenging you. You've heard the message. Tonight, figure out some marketplace that you can serve and get busy. And with that, I'll see you in the next session.